Morning all. I had my first game of the over the board season last night. It was against Hemel Hampstead Chess Club, so we were away at Hemel. So we were travelling there by car and motorway, etc. So I was playing black, and we had E4 repeat of last season. Actually, I played the Caro-Kann again, so I had an interesting game last season against John in the Caro-Kann, and he repeated the move C4, which is a very good move, pretty standard. I played E5. Actually, more common is to play D5. There's over 4,500 games on my book with D5, and only 889 apparently with E5. I chose E5, and usually white plays knight F3 here. There's over 717 games to play knight F3. Less common, 89 games, knight C3 or D4. D4 was actually played. If we look at knight F3, black usually plays D6, and you might wonder, why am I saying this? Well, there's a significance here. This bishop is actually locked in after D6, so there's a guarantee of the bishop locked in. I don't know how many other ways of defending E5 are actually that viable here. Because of the move C6, we can't play knight D7. So doesn't seem to be any particularly viable ways of defending E5 if we want to keep this bishop alive here. If we play Queen C7, I mean, is that really okay? That's interesting. That might be a way of keeping the bishop alive on F8. But again, on D4, then I think we're almost forced to play D6. If we play the check here, E takes D4. I think white's better here with that temporary pawn sack. A3, knight takes D4, and this looks pretty menacing already. So yeah, I think knight F3 really does encourage the closing of the bishop generally. I mean, another way, Queen A5. I don't think this has an artificial feel to it. Knight C3, bishop here, but sorry, knight F6, say bishop E2. I think we end up playing D6 here, because any move like bishop B4, I think it's apparent that this looks as though it's going to be troublesome to try and, say, win a pawn here. It looks too troublesome. Yeah, this looks as though there's good compensation for white because of that dark square bishop. This position, yeah, is better for white. It was just an attempt to use that bishop. So say E4, we can take here, and say takes here, then bishop E7. You can see that white's better. So generally, knight F3 is played. Okay, but in the game we have D4. I thought this was an odd experience during the game. This is why I mention it. I thought it was an odd experience here. That I thought, why can't I play knight F6 here to even try and use this bishop? I was wondering. I just didn't understand the position already. I don't know the theory particularly, but it looked as though it's some sort of interesting version of the Nimzo Indian now, because I've got this bishop to make use of. So he plays knight C3. I mean, if he actually took on E5, this looks as though white's got a dark square issue with the bishop. Might actually be useful here. This might be useful. There looks to be some sort of dark square issue. Bishop D3 looks like some sort of Budapest gambit variation. It looks as though black has already kind of equalized here. Say like this. Yeah, it looks interesting, this sort of position. Okay, so so we see knight C3, and yes, I've got in bishop B4, and it just seems odd to me that I have this position with black. I just couldn't quite believe it. I didn't actually understand if this looks so good, has white gone wrong? And I didn't actually understand white had gone wrong. And that's why I'm offering a theory that white might have gone slightly wrong already by not playing knight f3 to force d6 to have this bishop inside the pawn chain. And you might think I'm being ridiculous about this at a very sort of nuanced level, but already this position from an engine evaluation is virtually equal. White plays now f3. If he plays, d takes e5 here, it looks like similar to what we've just seen. This position, there's resources like queen a5 here. So if takes, we can take on c3, and black's doing very well. So it looks annoying already, this position. If bishop here, we can actually double the pawns. And then d6, we can use d6. This is fine for black. So anyway, after bishop b4, white plays f3. And I just carry on with queen a5, which might not be the best. This might be pushing luck a bit. But it seems, I've played that c6. It does afford queen a5. I didn't see exactly what was wrong with it. There might be better moves here. Maybe the immediate e takes d4 from a theoretical perspective. And then castle. White's got damaged dark square control. It looks like a bad Siamese King's Indian with the bishop outside the pawn chain. You see here, the bishop's ready for bishop c5. So is white going to castle queenside or something? This position here looks as though black is doing okay. Maybe if it's an interesting position. It's actually knight eg4 here. This is interesting. It gets extremely interesting. Bishop f4 apparently. So if takes, we've got knight takes e4 with an interesting position here. We can get a repetition or something. But anyway, this is going well beyond. So I played queen a5, not quite believing this position. Am I pushing things with black? And now I just castle here. And this is the moment where actually this could be punishable. White has reinforced e4. There's 2 or 3 quite good moves here, but the best apparently is a3 or d takes. On d takes, queen takes e5. White can actually play here bishop f4. And if bishop takes c3 here, white has to take with the pawn, otherwise the bishop's lost. But apparently white is approaching a good advantage, a clear advantage, more than half a pawn here. It looks as though that's a very strong bishop, and I'm blockaded. So this looks as though it refutes the whole concept of queen a5. Taking this a little bit further, this variation though starts to be a little bit murky, because white does have the doubled pawns. So if black plays like this, maybe it's not entirely clear. After f4, I mean, if not f4, then maybe attacking the double pawns. Okay, this position here, yeah, it looks very, very passive for black. Is black going to have to give up the exchange? Yeah, I mean, it could be busted position. It is like a busted position now. And if that wasn't played, then yeah, it's like black's going to be rolled over here. So I think this is the way to refute the whole queen a5 construction. So yes, this would have been brilliant. D takes e5 here seems to be the move to play. So with this bishop f4, and if the bishop wasn't relinquished, then white just gains tempo with a3. Bishop goes back unless you want to give up the dark square bishop, and it looks very pleasant for white now. Say here, so the bishop's passive, and it's just rebounded on black. White's getting a space advantage, and can even think about winning d6 soon. So this looks extremely unpleasant. Backward d pawn, passive bishop. So this is just unpleasant. Okay, but I think I was really let off here. Instead of d takes e5. Well, another alternative, a3, is also okay. If e takes, a takes, offering the exchange. This exchange sack isn't so bad, apparently, either. Say here, black hasn't really developed pieces, and white's got a lockdown on d6 again. If we look at this position, it looks very, very good for black to play b5. Sorry, very, very good for white, this position. Even though white's the exchange down, this bishop's going to be lethal later. Say e5, it starts to get horrible, I think. Yeah, queen e1 is actually a massive advantage now for white. Yeah, I mean, this is a disgusting position to play right here. So we play this queen h4, threatening mate, knight f5. It's going to be termination soon of the black king. Yeah, it looks horrible, this kind of thing. You know, if it ever takes there, then it's like a force mate in 7. So yeah, you can see how this can all backfire. So I think it was a bit on the artificial side, this whole construction. But as it turned out, white played bishop g5 here. And this actually helps justify this artificial construction. Can you see what I played here if I give you 5 seconds to pause the video? So 5 seconds starting from now, black to play. Okay, I didn't play this because white's better with bishop takes, defending c3. That's what I didn't play. I played actually knight takes e4. This is a nuisance because this is actually a loose piece, crosshair. After takes, e takes d4, so I'm snagging a pawn here. Say queen takes d4, then there's queen takes g5, and the dark squares are weak, and I've got the dark square bishop, big advantage to black. So he played actually queen d2 now. Possibly better was bishop d2 here. After d takes, this is still nice for black, this position, still very, very nice for black. You can see black's far from being passive. That bishop, the dark square control is very good, very nice position indeed. So yeah, queen d2 though was played, so I played d takes, and after knight takes I find another energetic move, black to play here. What would you play in this position if you were playing black? Okay, I played d5. With my lead and development, it's good to try and exploit this quickly with these pieces able to attack pretty soon. For example, if it takes here, check, and we have this nasty pin with bishop g4 at minimum. I mean, I thought this was good during the game. If castle's here, I thought I could just take on e2 or something. But actually, this could be a bit double-edged. There's actually even stronger here in check first to take on e2 there. There's a difference to take on c4 now. But yeah, that's veering away from things. Okay, hang on. So basically, if we just look at this again though, just for a moment, strongest is apparently not the check. Well, in the check line here, bishop takes c3. So if queen takes, I think we just take, and then bishop g4, we're cleanly winning that bishop without going into a pin after. We can just take with the rook or even the bishop. So yes, but apparently even stronger is c takes here first. So if bishop e2, okay, I'll show you something in the main line anyway. In the main line of the game, before we'll show you, I don't want to show you the results there. Bishop e2 was played here, and so we have this position now. Bishop e2 after bishop e2 is being played to try and avoid this e-file disaster, losing the piece on e2. So black's play here. What would you play in this position if I give you 5 seconds? Starting from now. Okay, I just played d4. I'm winning a piece. Move 11, yes. That was it. That was the end of the game. That's why I wanted to go in detail on the earlier moves. It was a disaster in slow motion, this game. Yes. He's losing a piece. What does white do? I thought we can try to look at the king. It's just taken. There's no real checks or anything. We can just play anything here. Bishop e6 even. If takes here, knight d7. We're controlling the check possibilities. Maybe we can just go back like this. This is fine. So yeah, white's just lost the piece. A bit of a disaster game. But in slow motion, yeah, there's a reason why these nuanced moves statistically are being played. Instead of d4 on livebook, that's very rare. Knight f3 is the move. It causes by force a guaranteed passivity. So this is something to bear in mind when you're looking at things with livebook on ChessBase, why these moves are played. It seems plausible, the same sort of goal to attack, to put pressure on e5, the same sort of goal, but the implementation is so much better with knight f3. It's not just about putting pressure on e5, it's trying to invoke the closure of the bishop, I believe. Okay, yeah, it started to go just wrong, but I think the key point as well that I blundered here with queen a5 from a technical perspective. Well, this is my last chance to play e takes d4. I shouldn't have played this. No, I think actually, sorry, queen a5 is palatable here, but e takes d4 was stronger. After castling here, this is the key inaccuracy. Black should now play e takes d4. Yes, this could have been asking for it. Castles is an inferior move technically because there's d takes e5. The queen is losing tempo, so the story could have been entirely different for this game if white plays accurately from this position with d takes e5. We see that it's totally different scenario. We could end up with a terrible d6 weakness. So yeah, there's a bit of luck here that d takes e5 wasn't played. This is a great position for white. But on the other hand, yeah, I played the inaccuracy here. I should have played e takes d4 either here or earlier in this position, just to guarantee the dart square piercing. This position is quite a good kind of stymish Kingscrusher style to it, except the bishop's not fianchettoed, but the dart square grip's quite good. There might even be d5 in this position, a quick d5 in one go, So yeah, some inaccuracies there from both sides, but yeah, bishop g5 was a key, I think, a key blunder in this game. Bishop g5, yes. It just helped justify black's setup here. Okay, comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.